You're listening to the most badass hockey podcast in all the no land. This is a shot from the point.
On demand from the heart of Europe, this is a shot from the point. It is June 3rd, 2012. I am Mr. Emotional. This is my partner, the extremely marble-mouthed Dave. We're here with you to bring us all our nearsighted views on the Stanley Cup playoffs. Marble-mouthed Dave, are you there?
I'm here, Tommy. How are you?
How are you doing?
Pretty good. I'm pretty good. Feelings are hurt.
Your feelings are hurt? Yeah, mine are too.
Feelings are hurt.
Well, if anybody's paying attention, we got a little rivalry with some Napoleon complex Ranger fans, and they send us hurtful
very
things.
astute trolls.
Yeah, astute trolls. Well, I mean, On Your Knees 14's whole view is, and this is going to be difficult to explain because it doesn't make any sense, is that I am a biased, idiot over-emotional Ranger fan because I was so gracious in their victory over the Rangers, because I couldn't think of anything nasty to say because it was so impossible to say anything nasty.
You were so beleaguered, you were so messed up. There we go. That's better. You were so messed up by the loss that you decided to be nice and curt about the entire thing.
Yeah. Well, I have no record on the internet of total honesty. But I don't have any record of the internet of being dishonest either. So, that's his argument. That's ridiculous. Someone is gracious and sportsmanlike when they're beat by a big rival, and that is actually a rouge for being something other than you are. I think if I was a prick, I'd probably act like On Your Knees 14. I'd probably just say a bunch of random shit, and the guy's a doorknob. He's dumb as a rock. He's been invited on. He's obviously not going to take it. It's over.
You guys are irrelevant. Why would I come on where no one can hear me?
I'll keep posting. I don't know.
Yeah. Hide behind your keyboard.
That's not the one that interests me. The other interest was the back and jurors thing, and I do apologize to him on this one because I deleted it by accident. But I was going to read his excuses for his music selection. He had excuses. So what he told me was this. He told me that in this part, it actually might be true. He said that the mourn comment, the mourn to make you mourn comment, was actually, he was quoting me. I'm assuming through some kind of Twitter thing that I put out there, that he was like making fun of my misspelling. I gotta be honest with you, that might be accurate.
And if it is, kudos for him, because that's a good catch.
I suppose, but I thought it's him that couldn't spell, because if you remember when we recorded that show,
yeah, you busted on him about the whole Morn thing.
Well, I did mention Morn, but when I sent it through Twitter, I think I sent it through Stanley Cup or NHL or something. I don't know. He said where he got it. I didn't pay attention, obviously, that closely. But what I did was I sent it out, and I may have made some kind of typo. So he was goofing on my typo when he left. So that may or may not be true. As far as his explanation for let's take a guess. What was his explanation for listening to Adele in
Europe? He was menstruating.
Well, close. He claims that it was his wife that actually looked up all that stuff. She doesn't have her own YouTube account. The fact that
it's so hard to start your own YouTube account.
Yeah. Well, why would you favorite something on somebody else's account? I don't really get that. Well,
first let's look at this a little deeper, because first we'd have to accept his premise that he's married.
Yeah.
And then we'd have to accept the premise that his wife just likes things on his Facebook. I don't know. It sounds like a little bit of menstruation bullshit to me.
Sure. And I think he took exception to the fact that I said, well, he said I said that it was gay.
No.
That's not true. I said it was gayed up.
Yes, gayed up. Big difference.
Yeah, and I don't mean gay like you're gay. I guess I mean gay in the sense that it's extremely effeminate, and it's an effeminate music collection.
Yeah. His music selection is something that someone would be listening to while getting bent over and reamed by a guy named
Sure,
Paco.
sure. Why not? It seems like that'd be the one for me.
Yeah, if I were to go that way, that's what I'd be listening to. So no offense.
It puts love in the air.
Exactly.
And all right, and the next thing.
Men listen to Barry White when we have sex.
So he explains off his lack of I don't know if it's lack, but the fact that really wasn't his music collection. And then he goes on to tell me that his small market team has brought him more joy in all the years, the few years that they've been around. I think it's 1981 or 80 that they've been around, the Devils, a little over 32 years. Then my team has been around in all, what was it, 75 years or so, or 80 years this year or something. So they've brought him more joy than the Rangers could have ever brought me in my lifetime. Well, I don't know. It's like, first he's telling me he didn't pick those songs, but then do you measure joy in your...
He has a joy meter.
He has a joy meter. I don't know. Like,
you should patent that, by the way.
I don't know. If I dig something, I don't say, boy, that was a 10 in my book.
Happy, happy, joy, joy.
I don't think I've ever done that. I'm like...
You know what? It's great that the Devils make him feel that way. It gives him... It's great that he gets that first date tingle inside every time you watch Martin Brodeur take the ice. I think that's fantastic.
Sure. Usually, like, if I see a good Ranger game, or even a good hockey game, like we saw last night, I say, gee, Andy, that was a good hockey game.
Yeah.
And then I move on.
Yeah. Not like...
I don't think, boy, on a joy meter, that was a 10.
No, this guy, he watches hockey while drinking a cup of wine, a nice glass of wine, and he's relaxing in a bath. He probably Calgon Take Me Away while he's watching the Devils. Oh my God!
Joy meter, he brought me more joy. And then he wants me to believe he doesn't listen to Adele.
That's what he listens to when they lose. So he's got to be just cranking the Adele right now because he's feeling all kinds of pain. Because
he doesn't want me to believe he doesn't listen to Adele, but he's he rates joy. Well, sir, the Rangers bring me joy too.
Yes, just not in my pants.
Yeah.
I love my Blackhawks, but they don't make my neck hair tingle.
I don't need aromatherapy.
Yeah. Doesn't make my pinky toe curl.
No, it doesn't.
But it's okay.
I'm done with these assholes. But
yeah, if he is listening to a lot of Adele, it's probably because of what happened last night in the real world.
Sure. Hold on, though. I got one more thing to say about the situation. And then I'll think. These guys, they're examples. And you said the reporter in Chicago or that guy in PTI just brought up the same reason. I guess he's from Brooklyn or something, and he has this. He kind of likes the Rangers for the same reason I do. Or he's from New Jersey, right? Who are you talking about?
It's Tony Kornheiser, and he's from the region.
Oh, he's from my area. Okay.
Yes.
But the Devils are inaccessible. Their fans are, in my experience, tend to be rich. They tended to grow up in like rich areas, like like Old Bridge and Marlboro, New Jersey, and places where I'm not knocking people that have money, but those are the guys that were like actually able to afford to play hockey. Yeah. Whereas the Rangers, anybody can be a Ranger fan. And the Devils is kind of a lead thing, and then you had to pay a little extra, whereas MSG came with regular cable. It came with basic cable.
For me, I think it's just kind of this whole thing where the country at large is kind of in agreement that it's hard to like anything from New Jersey. I mean,
so
this guy, on your knees 14, you've made me actually like my good friend Tommy C less because I know where he's from, and it's the same place. You've tainted him. You're helping taint New Jersey even more.
See, I don't feel different because I know where I'm from.
And he's probably getting excited because I use the word taint.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
Absolutely.
That's okay.
Take some bath salts. That's all I can say.
Eat a whole bunch of them, assholes.
Eat some bath salts. But I think this is an example for these guys are Ranger haters. They're not Devil fans. They're
Ranger haters.
Not all Devil. I know Devil fans. I do know Devil fans. There's a guy, Chris Martin, on my Facebook page, and we used to go drinking over at JJ Biddings in Woodbridge. I don't know why I gave them a plug. I hate that owner. But I used to love going there. And we talk about music and hockey and all sorts of stuff. And he's a really great guy, and he puts some funny stuff on his website. And he's a Devil fan. He loves the Devils. Yeah, he roots against the Rangers too. Like, he loves the Devils. Devils come first.
Yeah.
These guys they're just Ranger faders. They have Napoleon complexes. They're not even big hockey fans. I mean, the only reason I've been talking about the Rangers as much as I had is because they were in the Eastern Conference Final.
Yeah.
And I think that's fair.
It's very fair, and that's why the whole conversation is retarded.
Yeah.
I come from one of the oldest rivalry in all of sports,
Yeah.
Bears and Packers. It doesn't get more historic than that. It's one of the most Red Sox, Yankees, Bears, Packers, and then it's others.
That's true.
I hate the Packers, can't stand them, but I don't care about them either. I don't talk about them. If the Bears are losing and the Packers are, when the Packers won the Super Bowl the other year, I didn't go out of my way to hate the Packers. I said good for them, good for Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. You guys are a bunch of douchebags, really. I mean, get over yourself.
Yeah.
Really.
And it's kind of pathetic. I don't know what it says about us that we've given them over 10 minutes of airtime on this show.
We're a bunch of douchebags too. But
yeah,
I don't think we're as big a douchebags as that.
No. I think we're on a if there's a joy meter, then there's a douchebag meter, and they're 10s, and we're probably 6.5, 7s.
Well, I'll put a poll on Facebook tonight to see who's the biggest douchebag.
Biggest douchebags.
Actually, they know me, they know them, so I'm pretty sure they'll pick us. But
yeah, that's okay though.
Yeah,
it won't be the first time that I've been called a douche. So sorry.
No. But you've been accused. I think we have evidence here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Enjoy Adele. Hey, what happened in hockey last night?
Well, there was actually a game played.
Yeah, a spectacular game.
It was spectacular. It was a great game. Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Finals happened last night between the aforementioned New Jersey Devils and the Los Angeles Kings, and it was a phenomenal game, way better than Game 1.
Absolutely.
And the Kings were able to pull off a hell of a victory in overtime on the heels of one of the best goals I've seen in the first period. That Shane Doughty goal.
Absolutely.
Or Drew Doughty. That coast-to-coast marvel that he made was just phenomenal. By a defenseman.
Laser. By the way, we're talking about the Los Angeles Kings, New Jersey Devils, Game 2 of Stanley Cup playoffs, and the Devils did win. Or, I'm sorry. Oops, I'm sorry. Did I make a mistake?
What alternate universe did you come from?
That's right. The Los Angeles Kings won 2-1 to send the series back to LA after actually continuing and tying a Devils record of winning 10 in a row away in the playoffs, which is a Tiles of Devil record. So if they actually drop one in LA and beat them in New Jersey, then they beat their record of away wins. Which
what's great?
Would put my prediction where the money. Yeah.
Either that happens, or something else historic is going to happen.
What's that?
No New Jersey team in any sport has ever been swept in a playoff series. I found this out yesterday.
Even the Nets have never been swept.
Never happened. I couldn't believe it.
That's unbelievable.
They've never been swept.
That's about as believable as Kevin Smith's entire career.
But I was shocked when I heard that.
That is unbelievable.
Yeah.
But it was an interesting game last night. The Devils were told by the media, by their coach, by everybody else that they had to forecheck. They did. And for the first 2 minutes of that game, the Devils actually, in my opinion, put on their best performance that they had the entire playoffs. They were in complete control of the game for the first 3 minutes.
They played one of their better games, period.
It was amazing. I remember thinking, I said to Andy, I was like, if they play this way, they're unbeatable. I mean, they were just swarming like bees, man. They were all over the place. And you could tell that LA wasn't quite used to what they were doing, but they did adjust, admitting Darty, he fired a laser beam past Brodeur. I mean, I can't blame Brodeur at all.
Well, it was the footwork and the puck work that he did leading up to that goal.
Nobody saw that shot.
Goodness.
Nobody saw it. He didn't see that shot. It was just
no. You can't blame Brodeur on that one.
No,
that was a team giving up puck. That one. That was a tough one.
I've been of the opinion there's certain angles that you can shoot from, and I have no scientific proof to back this up, that are impossible to block. And if I was going to bet if that's true, I think it was that shot. They're what John Davidson used to call a goal scorer's goal, and you saw it right there. It was a goal scorer's goal, and the Devils really didn't deal with it very well after that. They started doing what they did against the Rangers, started running around their own zone a little bit. Yeah, they did recover and ended up tying it, but it's starting to show, and it's not Brodeur. It's the rest of the team does not deal with adversity very well.
No.
When they score the first goal, especially when Kovalchuk scores, this is very a dangerous team to deal with.
Yeah.
But if you get the first goal on them, and you get them outside of their game plan, they're undisciplined. They're reckless. They're not concise. They're not coherent, and they're beatable. And this LA team is spooky.
Yeah, and what needs to really concern them is I think there's two things that they have to be super concerned with. One is Kovacev's health. I'm not sure if he's 100% healthy. He doesn't look right. Mm-hmm. But two, the Kings haven't played anywhere near as well as they played in the other series.
No.
So if they play anywhere near their capabilities, this is going to be ugly. I think Game 3 is going to be nasty.
It's not looking good.
No.
I think that's fair to say. If they split, they're in trouble. And it's reasonable to think the Devils could split there. It is, you got to be shaking in your boots if you're a Devil fan. Yeah. And you better not win Game 3 or Game 4. You better win Game 3.
Yeah. Another interesting thing about this is the first time since early April that the Devils have had to get on a plane.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, because their other series have all been around the same area.
Because there's too many teams in the East Coast.
Yeah. So they have to get on a plane to get over to LA. First time they've had to travel. Is that going to make a difference? I don't know.
Jet lag.
I know. And let me tell you something. Staples Center or wherever the Kings play is going to be rocking.
Yeah, with all the celebrities that show up during the playoffs.
Yeah.
And that's it.
It's going to be rocking. It's going to be a hostile environment.
It's going to be full of LA fans. Like, I've been a Kings fan my whole life. Oh yeah, I've had season tickets for 20 years.
We'll see a lot of Kings Gretzky jerseys. I'm sure.
Because they still
They
still think he plays for the Kings. There's such great sports fans over there in Los Angeles.
Haven't had to wear this one in a while.
I'm going to Kings game. See David Beckham. I love LA sports.
Bex will probably be there.
Bex will probably be there. He's recently commented. He said something funny in Montreal. He said, "What is it like being in a hockey town?" He says, "Well, from what I can see, I'm from the hockey town."
Yeah,
that's what he said. Old Bex. That's funny. Los Angeles is the worst sports town as far as fan viewership. And I know, I'm sure, some guy from LA is like, "What do you mean? I'm a Clippers, I'm a Lakers, I'm a this fan, I'm an Angels. I vote for everything. I listen to sports radio." You're the only guy, trust me. Yeah. LA's awful. California's a bad sports town in general. I think one of the reasons...
It's another one of those places where there's so many teams, and they're always in a state of flux.
Well, I got another theory. I lived in San Francisco for a while, and there's so much outdoor stuff to do in LA.
Yeah.
Sitting around watching a game when you live in a beautiful state like California is just dopey. You want to get out there and ski and swim and hike and mountain climb and see everything. When you're surrounded by beauty like that, you tend to take advantage of it. Since I've been living in Europe, I like, sitting outside and drinking coffee or having a beer, and they have all these, stores over here where everybody sits outside, and they do it till December.
Yeah.
I take advantage of those things, and it's nice to sit in these cobblestone streets and, swill beer or coffee. In California, there's mountains to climb, there's oceans to swim in, and there's skis to slope, or slope to skis. I don't know anything about skiing.
But make no mistake, when their teams are in championship contention, they come out in droves.
They do. It's because it's a big market, but they're not team sports oriented people.
I agree with that.
Well, they needed Gretzky to support the whole team.
You know what?
They needed a super duper star.
With the exception of one team, I think there's one team. There's one team in that area that will beat the crap out of you if they heard you say that.
Oh, L.A. Lakers. They're diehard.
No, Raiders fans, man.
Well.
They'll kill you. They'll stab you. They beat people up at every game. You don't want to mess with the Raiders.
Oakland's a whole.
Apologize to Oakland. Apologize to them.
I don't go over that bridge. I lived in San Francisco. I was told never to go over that bridge, and I never did.
It's horrible. It's horrible.
Yeah. I do like California.
I do too. I lived in Vegas for a really long time.
It's a great area of the United States, man.
It is. It's beautiful and fun, and it's just beautiful, beautiful women. My God.
Too bad all the communists that run that area ran into the ground, huh?
Yeah. The governor came and did his thing.
Yeah, he's destroyed the state.
Just destroyed the game.
But he was in the line of a lot of other politicians that helped destroy that state over the years.
Very, very true.
Sacramento is It's a den of wolves. That's Sacramento. It's a big den of wolves.
It is. It is.
Well, going back to the Devils, I think the Devils aren't dealing with adversity. You put them on their heels early, they collapse, and they're going to have to find a way. I mean, I have no problem with them trying this more advanced forechecking. They didn't seem like they gave too many odd man rushes, but you're going to have to overcome. You're going to have to. These are tests, and you're going to have to overcome these tests. And now you put yourself in a position where it's the time's now, and that's it. I mean, my father hates the saying "there is no tomorrow." Well, because there isn't a tomorrow. You just might not be playing that day.
Yeah.
There is no tomorrow. Well, New Jersey Devils, there's a tomorrow, but there might not be a day after. And if there is a day after, it might be a pretty miserable day. You know, Devils got to get it together. Hats off to Marty Brodeur. He's really playing consistent.
Man,
He's a
he
total
played some
professional.
old school goaltending last night.
He loves stacking those pads, man.
Yes, he did. It's fun to watch just as a contrast between Quick and Brodeur of how they play the position. They play them so differently. Quick might be the most athletic goaltender I've ever seen. I mean, incredible. The his pad level, the way he's able to move is amazing. And Brodeur is just at one point he literally went old school and laid there vertically on the ground, you know. He just laid there and stopped the puck. It was beautiful.
Like Andy says, keep doing it if it works.
It works.
And that's what Andy says. You can't knock this guy. He's so calm. He's so laid back and he's so calm. I mean,
it's just another day at the office for him.
It really is. I mean, and Quick is like praying and, you know, making sure.
Quick's got ice water in his veins, man.
Yeah, but I mean, you can see he hunches down, he prays, and he gets focused. And I'm sure he's not stepping on his cracks on the way into the
arena. And Brodeur's out there like flicking cigarette butts, drinking them.
That's what it looks like to me. And I don't know if it's just because he's French and. But I'm French. I move in the game. I don't know. This is elementary. You know, I don't know if that's
playing hockey since I came out of diapers.
Yeah, well, I'm not a big fan of Uncle Daddy. I think he's kind of a weird guy, but he's a consummate hockey professional, and it shows.
One fantastic goaltender. We never again see the likes of Martin Brodeur.
And he came along when there was a lot of great goalies.
Yeah, he did.
I mean, he had Waugh, he had Brodeur, he had Dahmer.
Yep.
Yeah. Even Eddie, I mean, even like this, would you call Eddie Belfour a second-rate goaltender? I mean, he still is one of the best. You know?
He was a great goaltender. I liked watching Belfour. He was great.
I think he might be Hall of Fame, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, and Brodeur's on his way.
Did he make the Hall of Fame?
He should have. I mean, he was always top in GAA and save percentage. As my memory serves me, we'll have to go look it up. But
yeah, he was a hell of a goaltender. But it just that was the era of goaltenders. You know, goaltending was huge back then. Now we have all of these I call them rent a goaltenders. Like they get hot for a series and they go like a few years ago with Jaguar. You know, it kind of happens like it's
Dador. There's
it happens for a moment, and even with the Blackhawks, Crawford did it. You know, he got hot, and now everyone wants him out of town.
Sure.
You know, it happens all the time. It's nice to see, and we've seen some of the best goaltending in this year's playoffs than we have in years.
You think about getting Ilya Piskralov over there in Chicago. I think that's a real possibility, by the way.
Yeah, it's possible.
It's a real possibility. If he can get his head straight, I mean, he might be a good goalie, but I wouldn't want him on my team.
You know what? Screw it. Let's go ahead and give Hasek a call. Try out. Let's see what he's got.
No.
Let's give him his third go-round with the Blackhawks.
Blah, I come to Chicago. Blah. Oh, yeah, that's right. He played the Stanley Cup Finals for Chicago.
Yeah, he started early with us. We got rid of him, and then he ended with us.
1982 draft pick, but he didn't play until like 90.
Yeah.
89 or something. He didn't have his first game until like 90 or 89. He said he didn't know he was drafted for 6 months because he was behind the wall.
Oh, fuck.
I read a fun thing on him yesterday. He's also a big wrestling fan.
Yeah, good man.
And he's the only Detroit Red Wings goalie to slip and fall before he got in a fight with Brodeur or with Patrick Waugh. It's a classic clip. If you've never seen it, you really stop it.
Oh, it's a good
Stop
clip.
The broadcast. Write Hasek versus Waugh. It's the funniest thing you've ever seen in your life. And he was even interviewed after. He goes, well, they have a tradition over here that goalies like Osgood and Vernon had gotten fistfights with Patrick Waugh because they defend their honor over here. I thought I'd do it, but I hit a bump and I fell. God bless the Hummer.
That clip should be played with a Benny Hill soundtrack.
It's the funniest thing I think I've ever seen in my life in hockey.
Good
He went, you got to give, because those Czech guys, they're not fighters. No. But you know what? Dahmer went over there. This is what's done over here. And I'm going to get into it with Patrick Waugh's a pretty tough guy.
Yeah, and a lunatic.
Yeah, he didn't he just get a fight at his kid's?
There was that. He encouraged his son to fight the other goalie. This was a few years ago.
That was my boy.
That was hysterical. And then they both he got fired. Good. And his kid got kicked off the team.
Did he really?
Yeah.
You can't kick Patrick Waugh's kid off the team. No more than you can kick, Brodor's nephew or son or whatever off the team. Or whatever you call it.
Whatever we call him. We just call him. We call him Uncle Marty.
Uncle Marty. Poor Uncle Marty. Hey, Marty, I don't know what you could do out there, but maybe you got to go in the locker room and give some kind of big speech like, come on, guys, I might have to retire. Don't make me look like a jerk.
Right.
Yeah. You're more than welcome to come on our show and explain yourself.
Yeah, hey, anytime. I would be honored to have
Actually, I would. I would totally treat him with a bunch of respect, and I would not say Uncle Daddy, but I'm sure once he heard one of those, he would never come on.
He would never come on. Yeah, we've pretty much burned that bridge to the ground.
We're gonna get a hockey player on here one day when we grow. I promise you. I think that's right. I think it's a good attitude to have.
I think so too. I think we can do it. Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I mean, hell.
If not, we'll just.
I'm a wounded warrior. You're a veteran.
Yeah.
Hell, we could play that card.
Yeah.
Let's call Oprah.
We'll make a wish foundation or something, right?
Something.
All
we want is someone to come on our show.
Well, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it with guys like On Your Knees 14.
On Your Knees 14, our biggest fan.
Yeah.
At least he's listening.
I wish he'd at least hit the dislike button.
I'll take it.
Becca Black's got a lot of dislikes in a record contract.
she's a superstar.
What else we got in hockey news, Dave?
Oh boy, do we have a big story brewing.
Yeah, brewing.
Yeah, that's you see what I did there? You see what I did there?
That was badass.
That was good, wasn't it?
We're professional announcers.
Yeah, I know. You'd think that I did some homework or something. You want to be honest? That was completely by accident.
I'm sure.
But Tim Thomas. That's really all I need to say.
Tim Thomas. Great.
Man, educate us. Educate the children, Tommy. What is going on with Tim Thomas?
Tim Thomas is really it's come to the media's attention that Tim Thomas is thinking about taking a year off. Tim Thomas, as we all know, is the 2011 Stanley Cup champion goalie.
Yep.
He's 38 years old. His story is kind of legendary because his style is so ridiculously unorthodox. He must have went to the Dominik Hasek School of Goaltending. And he really didn't make it into the NHL until he was after 30 years old. And he's been maybe one of the most dominant goaltenders in the last 6, 7 years.
Definitely one of the most consistent.
Well, goaltenders do take longer to develop. I mean, Marty was drafted the same year Jágr and a lot of other stars were. I think even Lindros, the same year Lindros was drafted as well. And, I mean, that 1990 draft, or was it 89 or 90 draft, is just sick. If you ever take a look. It's just loaded. And, I don't think he was even drafted high. He's 38, so he was drafted around that year or the year after. And he spent most of his time in the minors. And now he's become one of the most dominant figures. Goalies like baseball pitchers. They take a longer to develop. Marty didn't come out until 94. Jágr already had his Stanley Cup. Jágr had 2 Stanley Cups by the time.
Wow.
By the time Marty took the ice. And I gotta be honest with you, Dave. I am still a little sick. I had a cough. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Oh, God. Ugh.
That was a good one.
I overdo it.
Fantastic.
So Timmy Thomas, who's also famous for being the only Bruin to refuse to see the president for personal political reasons.
Yep. Which I don't agree with, by the way.
I think we're going to get into that based on my theory of what's going on here. He's also known for being a Tea Party supporter and a religious Catholic.
Yep.
Dave, I'll ask you what you think. Before we get into the Obama thing, which I do think it might give you some insight to why Tim is making his decision. What do you think about his potential decision? And we don't know how solid this is at this point.
Well, for everybody, when you get to a certain age and you get to a certain point in your career, you have to make a decision: is it worth it to keep playing? Now, I I don't understand personally. I have a little bit of respect for him on this front. At least he's not just straight up retiring and then coming out.
Mhm.
I think that's way too cliche. I think it's happened way too much in sports recently. So I mean, if he needs to take a year to do whatever he needs to, if whether it's political, religious, or just personal, do what you need to do. I don't think he's going to take off personally. I think he'll end up playing. Mainly because of all the attention that this. I don't think when he made this decision and when it got leaked, I don't think he thought it was going to draw this much scrutiny because it is. It's drawing quite a bit of attention.
Dave, we have breaking news within the last 45 minutes on Tim Thomas, and I'm actually not joking around. Boston Bruins goalie Tim Thomas gave his first public indication that he will take the season off on Facebook post this Sunday.
Well, I have not seen that.
No,
Wow.
literally, this just came out. Bruins general manager Peter Chiavelli confirmed an earlier report on Friday that the two-time Vezina Trophy winning goalie Tim Thomas was surprised that the team last night advised him the possibility of sitting out the season due to family reasons. The 38-year-old Thomas indicated in the post that he wanted to spend more time with his family.
Really?
That's usually a sign. Usually, when you get a situation like with Dale Hunter, it's being fired. When the guy brings it himself up initially, it might legitimately be for family issues.
That's very possible. Well, I guess they call me Dead on Dave for a different reason because apparently what I just said is wrong. He is going to take the year off.
Dead off. Well, no, he's thinking about it. It's obvious he doesn't want to. He's 38 years old. Don't expect to have a career when you want to come back.
You can't take a year off and just expect to fall right back into being elite.
I think it would be a better move just to retire.
Yeah.
And I don't want him to retire because I love watching Tim Thomas and I love the kind of guy he was and I look up to him. I think if I had to project, I'm assuming, I don't know for a fact that he's an Irish Catholic. And I come from an Irish Catholic family. And I think I know what's going on here. And you can look at it, the type of guy, and I'm not saying this is right or wrong, that refuses to see the president based on political reasons because he doesn't believe things, is the type of guy, whether you agree with it or not, that believes or is principled in his beliefs, his or her beliefs, that he couldn't bring himself to see the president because he doesn't agree with what the president is offering. So he couldn't, in good faith, support what he saw as supporting the president. That's a pretty principled guy, whether you agree with it or you don't. I don't necessarily agree with it either. We'll get into that in a minute. Me and Dave will get into that in a minute.
Yeah.
The same type of guy would gladly drop hockey, as painful as it might be, for his family if there was some real family issues. Because if Tim Thomas appears to be who I think he is, family first. And
I have nothing but respect for that.
Me too.
It's a great thing.
Assuming this is true.
Yeah.
Hockey is going to be difficult, but he'll be able to walk away because there's things bigger than hockey. There's, in his world, and I'm not speaking for myself here, there's God, there's family, and there's country. And that's the way Tim Thomas operates, whether you agree with that type of way of operating or not. Yeah. That's the way Tim Thomas operates.
It's a very idealistic way of living.
Look, he could have got caught cheating on his wife for all I know.
Yeah. There's definitely going to be more coming out about the story, and it might not all be good. It could turn very ugly.
It could be something he's done wrong.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And it could be something somebody else done wrong. Or it could be the fact that his marriage is doing the same thing that a lot of other people's marriage does that is his age. There could be a sick child in his life. There just be multiple. But if I had to guess, I grew up with guys like Tim Thomas, guys that would easily be executed rather than defy principle. I know people like that. I grew up, I have family like that, so I get it. Now, I don't know if this is good or positive. Like I said, Tim, if you leave now, don't expect that you're too old. Don't expect to have a career. You're born in 1974. You're 2 years younger than Brodeur.
And speaking just from a hockey standpoint, the Bruins have to protect their interests as well. If he's going to walk away this season, the Bruins can't just bring in some schlub to mine the net for a year. They have to think about contending next season.
Sure.
They're going to need to find the future. And you think the Bruins are just going to sit there and allow him to come back a year, especially if they get a goalie who comes in and he's hot? Let's say
I
they
don't
make
know
a
what
move
Tim
for
thinks
something.
he's doing. If he thinks, I think it's probably unwilling. Like I know I need to leave now because of this bigger thing that's overhanging, but I don't want to, sit out hockey completely because I don't feel like I'm done. Remember, he's only been playing consistently in the NHL for the last 7 years.
Yeah.
And that means he was in his 30s when he started, or late 20s, early 30s when he started. And now he's one of the guys. He's one of the faces of the NHL.
Yeah.
And now he's thinking about walking away. I wished him. I don't know what he's going through. I hope he doesn't leave, just for my personal entertainment.
Yeah.
But I do think there's something wrong here, and I got a pretty good idea on the type of guy that he is, and I think he's my type of guy personally. And he's got to do it. He's family first. Yeah.
Nothing wrong with it.
Nothing wrong. I mean, me and you can really connect with that,
Absolutely. I mean, I've sacrificed. I don't want to get too much into my own story here, of course, but I've sacrificed everything I have for my family, my health, my well-being, everything. So I completely understand his rationale if that's the case. Like I said, I want to know what's going on, not only just because we're quasi media members, even though we're not at all.
No,
I don't even want to say that.
No,
you know what I mean, though. We're in the
wannabe. I'll say
wannabe.
We're
yes.
wannabes.
You know what I mean.
Hear that on your knees?
Yeah, we are definitely wannabes. There's no question about that. But I mean, we're in that mindset, is what I mean. We're in that mind frame where we want to know. We're inquisitive people.
We're trying to, sharpen that knife so we can stick it in somebody.
I mean, it's not even for that. I just for my own. I'm a nosy bitch.
Yeah. Well, you know that I'm not here because there's so much. I'm not here in Germany because there's so much wealth, and it was such a great decision for my career. Turned out I'm sitting in my living room doing a podcast with you.
Yeah, in a living room. I'm in an attic. So
this is my only free time.
Yeah.
I start school next week. It's gonna suck. Yeah, I take biology. Ugh. But all right, Tim, I think, and touching on the Obama thing, because Tim Thomas is synonymous with the Obama thing.
Yeah,
I have to be very careful, just to let some of the listeners know about how I phrase any situation that has to do with the president, because I am a member of the military still.
You just can't. Just don't call him a cocksucker or anything, and you're fine.
See, I can't get away with that, and I'm not.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying
he is my commander in chief.
I'm just saying don't call him a cocksucker. That's all I'm saying.
Barack Obama is my commander in chief, and I'm happy to serve the United States Army while he's president. So I do have to be very careful. Now, I would not have done what he had done had the president, say, been Joe Smith. Okay, and let's say I really dislike Joe Smith because of what he stood for. Let's say Joe Smith stood for. He was an anti-corporate guy with deep European socialist interests. That's something that I couldn't stand for. This President Joe Smith, I could not, in good faith, do anything for him to use me to further his agenda. It's President Joe Smith. But if you're a hockey player and he's just going to kind of slap you in the back and say, "Good job, guys."
Yes, it had nothing to do with political.
I really don't understand why Tim did that, but I do understand it because I'm pretty sure he's an Irish Catholic. I'm pretty sure he's a stubborn bastard, and I'm pretty sure he's a principled guy. So I think I get this. That's who Tim is. That's the kind of guy he is.
This is not a political-based situation like the 36 Olympics. This isn't like that. This isn't Jesse Owens standing on the platform in Berlin and Hitler refusing to go see him.
I don't think that was even for him. I don't think he
but I'm saying
he didn't want to stand in the same room as Guy. That was how he felt, and that was it.
I get that. But when you're representing something in a sporting realm, it would be the same as if Owens wouldn't even went up to the podium. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Owens went to the podium and stood in a hostile environment because it's his country and he was representing his accomplishment. And that's what Thomas should have done.
And it wasn't great for blacks in those days either.
Well, yeah, I'm not trying to get into all that. I'm saying from a pure sports standpoint, Thomas should have stood with his teammates, stood with the team that he helped, build and shape and win a title with.
Yeah.
And accept a little bit of congratulations that he was very deserving of from the highest authority that we have in the United States.
If it was President Joe Smith, I would have done it under those circumstances. But if I thought for a minute that I'd be used to further President Joe Smith's agenda, I wouldn't have done it.
But it's not
he wouldn't have. But the thing is, it's like you're saying, that's not
this is something
what was
that has
going to
happened.
Yeah.
Teams have been visiting the White House in every sport forever.
Sure.
Forever. This isn't Obama policy. It's like, hey, I'm gonna invite the Bruins in so I can get people in Boston to love me. No, this is just it's something. It's culture. It's something that's happened. It's
all he wanted to do was shake your hand.
Exactly.
That's all he really wanted.
Shake your hand, sign a jersey, put it so I can put it in my office. What's the big freaking deal?
But in fairness, but if that's not something Tim Thomas wanted to do, I think Tim Thomas shouldn't have to do it.
Just about to say that. It may not be a big deal to me, but to him, it was a deal breaker. He couldn't do it, and call it stubborn, call it pig-headed, whatever you want to call it. So call it righteous if you want. Some people will call it that.
Maybe self-righteous. I don't
know. Whatever you want to call it. It's what he chose. It's his decision, and unfortunately he had to deal with some of the negative fallout from that.
We got more breaking news on Thomas. The confirmation of a 1-year hiatus on Facebook through Tim Thomas's site came in on the Bleacher Report 12 minutes ago. It's an absolute confirmation. Tim Thomas will not be playing in the 2012-13 series.
Wow.
That's what a bummer.
That is craziness.
That just came over as. Don't be surprised if that changes, because I wonder if they're taking it from the same article and some reporter's screwing this up, and I haven't had time to read it while we were actually on here.
Yeah.
So, whatever.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, it's shocking to me. I hope he changes his mind.
Wow.
He's got time too, because they're not going to start camp till like late August. Goaltenders are first though.
It's interesting. I mean, even ESPN doesn't have anything too concrete other than it's still just he may be skipping.
The Bleacher Report is not us. We're not reporters. We're pundits, for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
Just a year after winning the Stanley Cup, Boston Bruins goaltender Tim Thomas has taken to Facebook and reportedly confirmed the rumors that he would sit out the next season. And this is why I hate the media. Reportedly. Are you reporting it, or is he reporting it? Do your job. I'm going to put the...
unnamed sources.
Unnamed sources. You took it from Facebook, you jackass. The Bleacher Reports. The guy doesn't even sign his name to it, so take it for what it's worth. But it's unfortunate.
Yeah. Well, the Bruins GM has confirmed that he may sit out.
The type of people that don't like Tim Thomas are going to love this.
Yeah. And because
Okay, hold on. We got somebody with some balls here. WABI sports anchor Nick Colt is confirming this report. And I just went to his Twitter. Tim Thomas officially announces he's sitting out. I'm going to Tim Thomas's Facebook page, which I will now like. Possible. I'll read it later.
Yeah. Let's not read it on air. Come on.
Go read it yourself.
Go read it yourselves. The important thing to know is it looks like this is happening.
This sucks.
It does suck.
Well, we might have time, because by the time the league gets their ass together, he might be ready to come back.
That's very true. Though he might have picked a good season to sit out.
Yeah, sure. Because Bettman's going to screw everything up for us and make us talk about what's going on. Can you imagine that? We'll be sitting here in October talking about, maybe the next meeting
sitting here in October.
yield some results.
I'll be in full swing football mode, buddy.
You still got to do the show.
I'll still do the show, but I'll be too amped up talking about how awesome my Bears are going to be.
They'll be 0-2 by that point.
Hey, watch your mouth. Watch your mouth.
I don't know anything about football. I never really liked the game that much.
I will educate you, my friend. You educated me in hockey, I will educate you in the ways of the pigskin.
But I don't expect me to fall in love with it. You know what I mean?
Dude, I hated hockey. I
didn't watch
call it a
sport. Football, but I did watch a lot of football. And I know a little bit. I know some history.
Yeah.
But I did watch football. I watched all 4 of the major sports. Hockey just does it for me in the end. Well, and I took a little break for a while, but now I'm back.
Yeah, I love
I
it.
had to take a break during when Gretzky left. It took a long time for me to recover.
Yeah, my heart hurt. I had to listen to
Yeah,
your
and then when
dad.
I started getting back into it, they struck again, and I was like, "This is bizarre." And then I moved to Germany, and it's just too much of a pain in the ass. And now they come up with this game-centered thing, and now I can actually follow the sport and enjoy
There you
it.
go.
So now
And
I
you
do
bring
that,
others into the church of hockey, which
and I'm proud of that. But
I am grateful.
don't expect me to cross. I don't think you watch enough hockey to curb fit. I think I've watched enough football to curb fit you. But I'm sure I'll come over and watch a game with you sometime.
That's cool with me, man. I'll be talking about the Bears. That's all good.
Well, Bears.
Bears. All righty. So,
All right.
moving on from the Tim Thomas scenario, we got some great stuff in the geek. And do you have anything else, or is it
I
time
don't
to
know.
move?
Do we have anything else? Do we have anything? I don't. I'm kind of blown away by Thomas leaving. I can't really believe it.
Well,
I don't even know I don't even know where to go from here.
allow me to let you mourn for a minute.
So we got geek
Wow.
news. What you're saying?
I got some great geek news for people out there who are going to be very excited if you love the game of Skyrim.
Skyrim. What is
Yeah.
Skyrim?
The Elder Scrolls game? Come on, man.
I don't know. I
Oh,
don't know. I think just having this conversation will lead me to strike out with women.
oh my God, you're a horrible person. Anyway, for those of you out there who are like me and love the game, the first DLC named Dawnguard is coming out very soon. Trailer's up. Check it out. You're going to love it. Staying with video games real quick. If you're like me and you love Star Wars, there's a new game coming out, Star Wars 1313, and it's finally not going to be about Jedi.
Is it?
You're not going to play a Jedi. You're going to play a bounty hunter. Now, it hasn't been confirmed if it's Boba
Could
Fett
it
or not.
be Boba Fett?
Well, no, they're not confirming that yet.
Oh,
It may or may not be,
I got to
but
say that.
it's going to be more of the gritty underworld of Star Wars, and you're going to be using really awesome weapons instead of lightsabers and force pushes.
That's
So,
funny because I think a lot when I'm at work or with my kid. I think about what's going on in the underworld of Star Wars. Really, yeah.
if you don't, you should be, because I do, and
Yeah.
I'm not being.
Do they deal drugs in the underworld? Is there like
I'm sure they do. I'm sure there's someone out there is eating bath salts. Yeah.
Look out! I bet
Speaking of,
bath salts. Go ahead.
man, bath salts are. I was like you. I thought the bath salts was a euphemism of some kind. I thought it was some kind of a name, a code name for
Like
some
crack or Mary Jane
LSD PCP hybrid.
or a
No,
Pittsburgh platter or
it's
dirty
friggin'
Sanders.
bath salts. It's the shit you put in your bath to help for aromatherapy things.
But aren't they mixing it with some kind of LSD or something?
I think they're putting some kind of a chemical in there. Like it's like barely changing it to the point, and they're eating it. Some people are just eating it. Eating it, snorting it, and they're hallucinating. And apparently, some people are getting the munchies.
That's good stuff. That's real good stuff, as John Fellow would say.
Man, and whatever can make you trip out like you're on LSD and give you the strength of PCP, that's some serious shit.
Had they made the confirmation that the guy in New Jersey that cut his insides out and threw it at cops, that's some intestinal fortitude. Was he on the bath salts? Did they ever make a confirmation on that?
I don't think that's confirmed or denied at this point.
What about the Maryland guy that ate his roommate?
Everybody, see, the funny thing is, all of this has been kind of tight-lipped for as big of a story as it was made. Like, they told the stories, but the details have been sketchy at best.
Oh, God.
So I know
it's
some
like
of these.
zombie movie.
It's great.
This just in. Berlin has been taken over. We have no idea what's going on, but there's reports of people eating each other.
Yeah. And this one's not done by rage-infested monkeys. So.
Yeah. Well, that's good because they run fast. I don't want to be in that one. I want to be in Night of the Living Dead where I can get away.
Yeah, I definitely don't want to mess with the fast zombies.
The fast zombies look way more dangerous.
I want slow zombies because I'm a fat guy. I want slow zombies that if I do, the only time I want them to be dangerous is when, like, the Walking Dead zombies are perfect.
Yeah, there's some in between, but they can kind of, like, jog a little bit.
Yeah, I could deal with that, though.
Yeah.
I could deal with that.
Walking Dead zombies. They always catch you when the camera's
not. The best zombies I've seen is the Walking Dead zombies. They're fantastic.
Yeah, there's somewhere in between, though. They can move a little bit when they want, but they seem to have to get going.
Yeah, and they're most dangerous when they're in hordes, when they're in droves of them.
Yeah.
If they're in onesies and twosies, you can take care of them.
Yeah. especially in the daytime. They seem to be a little more aggravating at night.
Yeah.
Like the dream I had. That you saved me.
Hey, I am a savior. Well, no, I'm not. Wow, talk about saying
Oh,
something.
that was another show we didn't
Hey.
record. I had a dream that Dave saved me from the zombie attack because he just told me to be quiet at night and everything was cool. And every night we were quiet and everything was cool. And his wife made me hot cocoa during the zombie apocalypse. And I also had a big falling out with Rick prior to this, and I decided to team up with Dave instead of going with Rick.
Rick from The Walking Dead, people.
Yeah,
Rick from
Rick.
The Walking Dead.
Yeah, we got an argument over the phone, and I said that his decision was going to result in death, and it
Which
did.
he's used to people saying to him, so that's okay.
Oh, maybe they're right.
Maybe they're right. I don't know.
Me and Rel, we had a tumultuous relationship. Me and Rick. Me and Dead on Dave. We drank hot cocoa while the zombies wandered around.
That's what
So
we
you
did.
figured out they were next to nothing in the daytime. They're almost like they didn't really even hoard that much, but at night they hoarded. Yeah.
I can only wish that I can live up to the dream version of my zombie prowess.
You know, it has been the first Walking Dead photograph came out today.
Yeah, of Michonne.
Yeah, he's got Rick with a silencer.
Oh yeah, I saw that, but they showed some pictures of Michonne too.
I don't want to know too much about Michonne. I'll be honest with you.
But you haven't read the comics. I have.
Yeah, because I can't. Even
They're so different. It's a totally different universe.
But you can get an idea what's going to happen if you read the comic. Because I read the comic up to this point, and now I stopped.
Yeah, but I don't know how you could say that because things move so fast. They don't even stay at the farm. Everything's different. What happens with?
Don't talk about the prison though.
I'm not. But I mean, like just in the comics, you know, what happens with between Rick and his good buddy? It happens a lot sooner than it's.
Yeah.
It's a different thing altogether. I like the balance of the show a lot better than I do the comic. The comic's gritty and crazy and insane.
I don't like the dialogue in the comic.
Yeah, it's a little too.
It's like everything's. It's like a big spot. I mean, all the big spots in the comic that translate so well to film, but the conversation between people is just. It's not even comic book like. It's just piss poor. And
it's shallow at best.
It's shallow at best. Yeah, and I love Robert Kirkman. I just don't like his writing very much when it comes to that comic, but I love his sense of atmosphere.
Yeah, he definitely.
I love his sense of atmosphere. And when I criticize somebody, it doesn't mean I hate them. I love Robert Kirkman and his fat ass.
I love the comics. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely love them. My wife and I, we read them and like straight through, like 96 comic books. We read them.
God! No, I have the zombie disease. It's coming.
Yeah, jeez, man. God. Come on, player.
I'm actually better. They gave me some... I don't know if it was legal or not, but my girlfriend gave me something and I felt better, but now I just have the cough. Feel a lot better. What do we got else? We got in geek news?
Well, we got a great story that I'm very, very much excited to talk about.
What you got?
Tell me if you've heard about this.
What's that?
The man who's known as Diddy, P. Diddy, Puff Daddy.
Puff Daddy?
Yeah.
Wow.
Sean Combs, if you will.
Sean Combs.
His son has received a full ride scholarship to UCLA.
Nice.
For football.
Oh, wow.
And it's a great story as far as just a kid. It did a great job. He received a full ride scholarship. But people in the media, Mike Wilbon included, have lost their fucking minds.
Over what?
Over this. Because P. Diddy's rich. And Diddy has been known to spend $2 million at a strip club. Yeah. And things like that. So people don't like the way that he spends his money. So they don't feel...
It's none of their goddamn business how he spends his money.
Yes. Now, here's what people are saying. That it's not right.
What's this guy's name that does his TPI? What's this guy's name?
It's Mike Wilbon.
Mike Wilbon's rich, too. I don't like the way he spends his money. I mean, who the hell is he? Who the hell am I to tell him now people can spend their money?
Well, what they're saying is this. That his son shouldn't be receiving this scholarship because there's less fortunate kids out there that could be more well-deserving.
You know who gets those full rides? Guys that are good athletes. And they base it on that. That's it. And athletics is one of the few things that you can... And academics, I'm sorry, you can get around it with politics, with who you are, your race, your background, who you know politically. Absolutely. Athletics, it matters if you can score touchdowns. And it's the most even, fair, There's no what do you call it? Special promotion based on your ethnicity. Nothing. It's the fairest way to do it. Can you put the biscuit in the basket, put the home run in the seat, and what have you? And if
there
he
are
reaches,
some
I don't care
states.
if he reaches this filthy rich kid Combs. If he reaches these qualifications under UCLA, they're obligated to give him this
Absolutely.
scholarship. Not they don't have. They're obligated.
There are some states, some colleges that use taxpayer money to give scholarships. UCLA is not one of those places.
Unbelievable. So they must think he's going to be good.
Yeah, obviously. But for all these people, and there was somebody, I wish I had the name because it was very interesting. I was listening to the Colin Hurd show podcast, and he was talking about this, and it was like disgusting that he brought this up about somebody else who blogged about this, saying that that it's disgusting that this kid is getting the scholarship when there are more deserving young kids out there who.
And he's basing that on what? Does he? I mean, I don't know much about.
It's a chick who said this.
On?
No, they're saying just because he's rich, he shouldn't be getting it.
You know, I tell you something. If he got in there and his old man paid for it, you're only here because your old man paid for it. He gets a scholarship on his own. His father should have paid for it because his father made a bunch of money. Because that's a society we live on. You know what the zombie apocalypse is really going to be? A bunch of assholes screaming about the 1%.
Yeah,
that's what we live. We live in a society of self-entitled candy asses.
Yep, and what people don't seem to realize is successful people tend to have successful children.
Oh, why would that be?
You know,
because they have a work ethic that you don't, and they don't sit around on television saying, "I want to be that guy, and I can't, and why does he have all that, and I don't?" Wah.
No, they roll up their sleeves and they do the job. People want to say, "Oh, they have money." Oh, they worked for it. It's not they were just like.
Do you think they go onto other people's podcasts and write obnoxious stuff? No, I bet they don't. I bet they go on and make their own podcast and make it better. And they're trying to get better. I bet that's what they do.
That's probably what they do.
You candy ass.
On your knees.
On your knees. Not even just him. Whoever said that. That kid doesn't know anybody's shit.
Yeah, I agree with that completely.
And Combs doesn't know anybody's shit. He pays his tax.
I knew this would fire you up. I knew this would be a story that would really fire you up.
Jackasses. Self-entitled pricks. I tell you something. My sister-in-law works down on Wall Street, and I heard some of the things you bastards said to her. And all she's ever done, and she doesn't come from an exactly rich background. In fact, she comes from a background from people that think like you. And she went to Wall Street, and she was called all the names, and all she's trying to do is make a living. And she's not filthy rich. She's trying to make a living. And you know what she did? She held my brother's family together and told my brother to go back to school so he could do a job that he wants when he was already working in New York City. She said, go back to school after he was in his late 20s. And that's how she did it, through job. And you know what happens? She goes down on Wall Street, and people, self-entitled assholes, 12 was people that scream about the 1%, people like you, called her horrible names.
Yep.
That's the kind of people you are, thinking that she's some kind of 1%er. Well, she's not a 1%er. She's a real woman, and she doesn't need anything from you.
I think if we all stop bitching about what we don't have and who gets what, and we just focused on bettering our own situations, it's going to better everybody's situation. Because, geez, we spend so much time bitching and complaining and whining. No wonder why our political system is a mess outside of corruption. No wonder why our family lives and all these things have happened that are deteriorating, family values, ethics, all this shit is going to hell because all we do is complain. We're in this era of nonsensical friggin' whiners who just want, they want more porridge. It's all they want. They're like Oliver, Mosa. You know what? Sometimes there is no more. Sometimes you have to work for getting a little bit more.
But we're not taught that. And my generation wasn't taught that either, and neither was your generation, and neither was the generation before that. Where they're told that they're entitled to something because of who they are, and that is the sickness and the disease that, in my opinion, has been deliberately spread. So when things go wrong, everybody goes nuts, like they do in Greece, because they've been told it's their birthright, and it's not. It's what their what your grandparents did before you to give you that situation. And you keep saying just there's more, and then you run out of money, and you run up your credit cards, and you run out of loans, and then it collapses. Like it's collapsing all over the friggin' planet from you zombies. You're the zombies.
We are the Walking Dead.
You are the Walking Dead. You can't have an entitlement program unless somebody else pays for it. That's it. And if it's not there, yeah, you starve to death. Because you have too many of them. And God forbid Sean Cohen, he gets them for good, I'm glad. I hope he becomes a Hall of Fame NFL player.
I do too.
Asshole.
You know what? This kid, if he gets great, he's going to inspire some kid down the line to do the same. We all get into things for different reasons. You know?
You know why? Because I can go, I don't care if he has a lot of money. I can get through my life. You know what? If I want to make a lot of money, I'm going to find a way to make a lot of money. And it might not be as much as Sean Combs. But you know what? You know what Sean Combs did? He bet his entire career. He was with a company called Tommy Boy Records. They were a solid hip-hop company in the late 90s. They had House of Pain, they had Naughty by Nature, they had a lot of... And that was the safe bet. You know what he did? He went with this fat black kid from Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And saying he's the best rapper. The guy wasn't good looking. He had nothing going for him. He's like, no, this guy's the purest MC, the finest MC around. And he bet everything. And he left Tommy Boy Records. And and you know what? Where's Tommy Boy Records now?
Exactly.
I think they don't think he exists anymore. And you know what? He bet on all that guy because of what he knew about hip hop and what he knew about music. And it was the right bet.
Created his own joint. You know,
Yep.
Bad Boy did his thing.
That's right. And that was a risk. He could have ended up poor by that decisions. That's the kind of people who are rich. Not you, who sit in a park and smoke pot and rape chicks, do drugs, do nothing, and collect welfare.
You know, you could have financial success and still not be, successful in other realms of your life and happy. You could tell that Sean Combs is successful in every aspect. He's a mogul. He's a philanthropist in a lot of ways. People don't know this about him. The guy is a good pillar of the community in which he lives in.
Look, I don't like everything that Sean Combs says and does, and I'm sure we wouldn't.
No, of course not. You don't have to.
I don't hate his accomplishments.
No, there's a fine line between, standing behind how he spends his money and saying outlandish shit like, "I support the stripper community by spending $2 million at a strip club." He's actually said that.
Good for him.
Yeah,
he's not lying either.
No, he's not, and that's okay. That's his prerogative. Doesn't mean we have to drink that Kool-Aid. No. But if you want a business pattern, a business portfolio that you can follow, if you want something that you want to build upon, that's who you look at. He did it. He did it his way, and he's been unapologetic about it. I have fish sticks.
Zombies. That's what they are.
I have fish sticks and noodles. I'm very happy.
I'd like to shove some noodles down that guy's throat.
Yeah, it's craziness.
Plugs, Dave.
Oh, yes. We got some great plugs. My brother, I'm going to lead with it because I'm so proud of him. My brother, Brandon Robbins, he's a reviewer over at this new website, British-based review website, Chaos Hour. He has been named the first reviewer of the month.
Congratulations.
Yeah, very, very big ups to him.
This is a guy that's helped us tremendously.
Yeah, and he's going to be on my show, which is this guy's take on it, which I've taken a small hiatus from to work some kinks out. He will be on my show probably within the next 2 days. I'm very excited about that, so make sure you check us out there.
It's like a comic book review.
We're gonna talk about a lot of things in geek culture, and we're going to talk about this story. We're going to talk about the UFC over the weekend because there was a big thing that happened over there. A lot of great stuff we're going to be talking about. Get in depth on some video games and sports and stuff. So join us there. And as always, you can check me out at Twitter at David W. Van Cura.
Yeah.
And my book is still out on Amazon, available. The Chronicles of L.J. Stevens. Check me out.
All right. I want to promote myself. First of all, I'm on Twitter too. Give it crap. It's at Jersey Ghost on Twitter. If you have any opinions or insults or cooking recipes, I'd be all ears. If you like to, I'm a pretty inclusive guy, and if you're not a coward, I'll let you on the show.
We'll let pretty much anyone on the show as long as they have a little bit of balls.
I don't want to hear from you 99%ers either. I think you're a coward. Why don't you join the army, you pussies?
Yeah. Here's something that you might not know about me. I was actually offered a 2-year scholarship to UNLV, and I turned it down and came in the army instead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I decided I wanted to. This was right before 9/11.
Did you regret your decision?
There was a time, probably when the towers went down when I was in basic. Yeah, I probably did.
At least you're honest, buddy.
But I'm proud of everything that I accomplished in my 9 years. I did a lot of great things, and I'm proud of my service.
I miss the regular army every day.
Damn proud.
I dream about it too. It's tough. I miss it every day. I got drilled this weekend though.
Aha, fun for you.
But it's like family weekend, so I think I might try to get out of it.
Okay.
I don't know if I can take that. But I might. But I'll do something during the week, probably more productive anyway. You know what? I might even ask to go on orders. Because the show's ending. I go on orders for 2 weeks. Probably good. JohnFreemanMusic.com, JohnFreemanMusic.com, JohnFreemanMusic.com. John Freeman is an electronic and recording engineer and a musician. All at once, all in 3 times. So he's like Voltron, man. He's like all the lines came together and just formed Voltron and spit beats in your face. And
well, that's an image.
Yeah. And he looks like Willy Wonka.
This guy's so talented.
But he looks like the Willy Wonka that stole your candy. I gave you any.
The Gene Wilder Willy Wonka, not the creepy Johnny Depp Willy Wonka.
I always thought Gene Wilder was creepier in a different way. He's like mean, and the Johnny Depp
liked
was
that.
like.
I like that he was a little bit of a dick.
Yeah, I like Gene Wilder because I don't know. Johnny Depp looks like he touches your pee-pee.
Yeah. It didn't help that he actually looked like Michael Jackson in that movie.
There was some Michael Jackson thing going on over there, and I think that was a subconscious message that Michael Jackson was more than likely a kid toucher.
Oh my God! Let's not do this again. Let's not do this again. Lay off, Michael. The man's dead. Lay off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, lay off kids.
You want to go take a leak on his fucking grave now too? Jesus, lay off the man.
I don't care. And here's another. He OD'd. Nobody killed him. How about that?
Well,
Nobody killed Michael Jackson.
Tell that to Dr. Conrad, who's doing prison time.
Dr. Conrad's doing time for overprescribing.
Yeah.
Why was Dr. Conrad put there? Dr. Conrad was put there because he didn't have the courage to say no. And I'm not saying he doesn't belong in jail. All right? But he's not a murderer. He's a quack.
Yeah, he's a kid. That might be
quack. And the reason he had the job was because he's a quack. I gotta be honest with you. If my father ever listened to this, I wonder what he'd say. If that was me, and I got some doctor, some hand-picked doctor to give me drugs I wanted, and I died, my father would be ashamed of me. He wouldn't suit that guy because he would have been ashamed of me and my decision. As the Jackson family should be ashamed of him for putting a quack to give them this amount of drugs. But I mean, he had that kind of money, he can do that. Ask Rush Limbaugh.
We don't know enough about Michael Jackson to make these type of allegations.
I'm making allegations.
I'm a little uncomfortable with it, to be honest.
Well, I'm saying it then. He had that guy there because he knew that he was going to. And if he didn't prescribe the medicine, he'd just find another doctor. Rush Limbaugh, the same thing. I'm going to die. All right.
You don't have a quack doctor, right?
Yeah. Or a carnival that invite little kids to.
Oh, Jesus, man.
That's all from a shot from the point. Oh, God, when's the next game? I didn't even look it up.
It is Monday.
Monday. Is it really Monday?
Right.
Is it really Monday?
Yeah.
Don't forget, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Devils making that trip to Los Angeles. You said it was the first time they got that. This is the first time they got on a plane, right?
Yeah, first time
they
got on a plane.
They played in Florida, so they had to go onto a plane.
Yeah, they've been able to just do they've been busting it everywhere else.
They bust down to Florida?
Yeah, that's not a very long drive.
What do you mean? It's like a day.
It's not that long of a drive.
From Newark.
Hey, look! Don't get on me. ESPN.
It's like
I got my
hours.
information from ESPN.
Did you really?
The worldwide leader in
sport. The cheapest. I wouldn't want to bust my team. No wonder they took them in 7.
I'm just telling you that's what they said. It's the first time that they've had to get on a plane.
They bust them down in Florida.
I have no goddamn idea. I'm just telling you what they said.
I can't believe that. You gotta send me that.
Pretty sure it was Barry Melrose who said it.
Sidney Crosby drops gloves with Drew? What? 15 minutes ago? I can't resist. They had to put an app on my Facebook. Damn it. I gotta see this. You like my status, Tim? I gotta see this. I gotta see this before we go. I hope this works. Are they gonna show the clip? First rounds. Oh no, it's from friggin' it's from first round.
Yeah, I
thought Crosby
can't
said
believe you
something
didn't
about
know
Drew.
that.
No, I thought Crosby said something about Drew on Twitter.
Oh, okay. No, he's too big of a pussy.
Oh, yeah. Give him a Twitter punch. Hey, speaking of Claude Giroux, he's up for the cover. I guess he's going up against Pekka Rinne in the cover battle, the cover curse battle. And if read about the people that get on the cover, like Patrick Kane, and they go punch cab drivers afterwards.
Oh, yeah, nothing. If you want to talk about cover curses, there's nothing when you talk about cover. The Madden curse, yeah.
Yeah, the NHL's
that's
much
real.
better. The NHL's much better.
Real.
It seems to be work. If you get on the European cover of NHL, you're safe, sorta. But if you get on the American, like North American version, you're in big trouble. All right, that's all I gotta say. We've gone on too long, about 10 minutes longer than I wanted to. This has been a broadcast. I'm Tommy C. This is my partner, Dead on Dave. This has been a shot from the point.
Mouth Dave.
Marble Mouth Dave. This has been a shot from the point. I hope to see you guys really soon. Please pay attention to the Stanley Cup playoffs because we're riding it to the last goddamn day. That's right. The last day. See everybody and have a great hockey weekend. Oh, wait a minute. It's over. Enjoy the rest of the week. Peace!
Have a hockey day.
Have a hockey day. Yeah.